So, should we buy or sell United Natural Foods? So, first off, read this disclaimer carefully. Here is the website UNFI Better Food, Better Future. We are building a food system that is better for our people, our communities, and our world. So, this is definitively very much on trend. Flickering. Okay. Everything that's healthy and better for you. Organic, natural, conventional, and specialty products. Of course, do your good deed of the day by liking and commenting on the video. Clean food and beverage is a theme in the megatrends. And here is the stock. I have it here. United Natural Foods, natural and organic food. 26% from the 52-week lows, 16-ish% away from the highs. Here are the weekly data points, very much a big picture. What is interesting with this stock is that it has a history of very successful inverse head and shoulders. You have it here. Very big rally. Inverse head and shoulders, not success. You could make the case that this maybe is a monster inverse head and shoulder-ish pattern. Not textbook, but the pattern is similar. We are dancing around a cluster of moving averages here, but we are above them, which is bullish. On the daily data points, we have a bit of a clean support level in the form of the blue 100-day moving average, which has been pretty viable in the past. However, if it were to become a resistance level, then that would be bad. So it's a very important moving average for the stock, massive psychological importance. And also the algorithms will easily be able to pick up these kinds of signals and trade very quickly from them. Looking at the weeklies, very much in the neutral zone here across a bunch of indicators on the dailies. Similar as well, this is very much right there on the trigger. So on the technicals, this is a big make or break situation. So in this situation, I write 100 daily moving average as the entry signal, but also a bit of a stop loss. The technicals get 5 to the bulls. Next on the list is the seasonality. To the left here, there could be some bearish activity into late February. To the right, so far for February, we do have 0.44% loss. Usually though, February is a bit of a weak month. March, however, looking at the sum, it is the most bullish month. So being a buy and hold March United Natural Foods investor, it's worked out pretty well. It's the best month to turn bullish on UNFI. So the seasonality is overall bullish. So in this case, I do think I will give the bulls, I give them a 5 on the seasonality. Overall, this is pretty bullish. But there's a caveat, that it's not like roaring bullish, but bullish enough. Here we have the price book, price to sales, and price earnings ratio over multiple years. We are at an interesting level here. I mean, you can almost see inverse head and shoulders on price book and price earnings. It doesn't, of course, work in the same way. It's more that we are at a support level across a bunch of indicators. So this is a place where bulls usually see value, the bulls that look at fundamental analysis and those metrics. So the price earnings is 10.5, not too shabby. The forecasts, 10 analysts have a 1-year price target. The average target is 16% above us. Highest is 52% above us. Lowest is 3% below, which is not really that dramatic. 14 analysts have a rating, and they overall are bullish, but the majority are holds. But that is rather typical. Giving like a hold rating is like the cop-out rating in the business. I think I will give the Bulls a 7 here on the fundamentals. So overall, this is pretty good fundamentals. This is United Natural Foods compared with the S&P 500, and then you have a long-term 85% correlation with the food and beverage ETF. You have 94% positive correlation. On the shorter term, you do have 74% with S&P, 71% with food and beverage, and 67% positive with the Yummy, which is the future of food ETF. So long and the short term, the strongest correlation we get is with the PBJ. So what happens with the PBJ is very likely going to affect UNFI. Here we have a bit of an inverse is head and shoulders pattern. A bit of a shoulder, a bit of a head, a bit of a shoulder, potentially bullish. Pulled back to a cluster of moving average support levels. On the dailiest, the same situation. A bit of a messy setup here, but overall it's potentially bullish. Seasonality is pretty good here to the left. To the right, February usually is a bullish month. More green than red, and March is a very bullish month. It is the most bullish month here for PBJ, which is pretty promising. So yeah, that's definitely a big point here to the bulls. So now let's compare UNFI to PBJ. Yeah, it's we have a bit of a rounding-ish bottom. Maybe you could call it a bit of a cup and handle, potentially. It's interesting, though it's also a bit messy. I would ideally like a cleaner setup, but this is what we get. On the dailies, we are pulling back here from overbought on RSI, which means that PBJ might outperform UNFI a bit. Let's look at the seasonality here. So UNFI could underperform PBJ into late February and then start to outperform. But looking at March, UNFI usually outperforms. It's the best month for UNFI in this pair. But February is not that bullish. So there could be some underperformance in stock. So given that the more recent hypothetical developments here are a bit more bearish for UNFI, could underperform the PBJ a bit. I think I will give -3 here to the bears, but we did see though clearly that looking a bit further out, United Natural Foods could start to outperform PBJ more systematically. So that's yeah. But overall, we do end up with 3.5 in favor of the bulls. We are at 100 daily moving average support, a big score here on the fundamentals. But across the board here, this was relatively bullish. We have some time left. Let's look at the stocks within the food and beverage ETF. We'll start here with the Hershey company, approaching a new all-time high. It's not a good time to turn bullish. It's a good time to stay bullish, lock in some profits and all of that. But long term, we are not overbought yet, actually. On the dailies, yeah, a bit dangerous territory here on price, on RSI here on the PPOs. So could be some pullback in store. Looking at the seasonality. The seasonality will peak a bit later February. So far, 6% gain for February, which compared to other Februaries, we are definitively on the higher end of the spectrum. So the probability of more bullish moves for February on Hershey is limited. Then again, March is a very bullish month. Really is a bullish month for Hershey. Looking at price book ratio, price to sales, price earnings, we could go a bit higher, but we are not at like value levels. Certainly not. The fantastic entry opportunity has passed. Let me just remove this a bit to clean up. 1.73% yield. Okay, yield. So the average price target though is 4% above us, which is really sort of limited. So the analysts pretty much agree that there is some upside, but a lot of the good news are priced in. Yeah, the rating here is neutral, so yeah, this the great buy opportunity for Hershey has most likely passed. You want to buy low and sell high, and there might be some selling opportunity on the horizon, but there could be a bit more left here from the bulls. Okay, so next on the list is Kraft Heinz, a real like Warren Buffett stock. I'm not sure what kind of position he currently has though on Kraft Heinz. But yeah, Kraft Heinz is pulling back. Let's go to the dailies. Yeah, pretty close here to this red 200-day moving average. We had the golden cross back here with the green 50-day crossing above the 200 daily moving average. The blue 100-day about to cross over. It's a bullish, technical pattern. Yeah, decent readings on weekly, on the dailies here. Yeah, nothing in like particular happening on those indicators. Seasonality. Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss onto the left. February 2% loss so far. February is the weakest month of all. That's not bullish. March, at least recently, it's been a decent month. February, well, I mean, April overall is one of the best months, the second best month. Looking at the fundamentals, this is where Buffett likes to reside. Price book, price to sales, price earnings are at decent levels, but this is not like deep value. Notwithstanding that the stock is far away from the highs, 4% yield, so you do definitively get that yield. Average price target is 9% above us, which is decent. Overall, a buy rating here, a lot of holds, so yeah, it's an interesting stock, but it's more bullish than bearish, but it could be a better opportunity. Next is PepsiCo. Yeah, so we sort of like the buying opportunity was sort of missed. We had a very strong week now, so let's go to Keurig, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, this is also it's a bit of a messy situation, so let's continue. General Mills, GIS. Where is it? Oh, interesting. This is interesting. Nice technical setup. Boom, boom, boom. Very, very buyable moving average. The green 50-week moving average on the dailies. Slipping below the 200 day though, so that's not very mixed here on the technicals. Seasonality here to the left is decent. To the right, February usually is a bit bearish. March is the most bullish month. That's bullish. Looking here at price earnings is at support. PE in green. Price to sales is okay. Price book is not too shabby either. Not deep value, but there is value. 2.8% yield. The price forecasts 7% upside is the average target. Max 25%. Lowest is 14-ish percent. Neutral ratings. But overall, I do think that this is an interesting opportunity on General Mills. The green 50-week moving average, though, is sort of like the key level here to watch. So we looked at United Natural Foods and also some of the top holdings in the most related ETF, the food and beverage ETF, the PBJ. Yeah, I do think that there are some interesting bullish opportunities here overall, and going forward, definitively use entry signals and stop loss, and let the trend be your friend.